Do you know how to delegate? We have here a full beginner guide on how to start delegating. The basics. To quickly delegate cheaply, fast, and easily to avoid what most people get wrong. From zero to starting delegation is a big step. After this guide, you will have a confidence to start. You will know the first steps to start. You'll minimize wasting time. You will go right towards the opportunities that arise when you delegate, skipping months of trial and error. And at the end, you also see how you can go further with the free massive resources that we prepared. But before, I'm Pietro Mappers from Success Mappers, and we help solopreneurs and small business owners to better manage their business, to make the business passive, work less while obtaining still amazing results and growth and scale from their current business. How? With delegation, better management, business structure, and optimal processes. Our framework, this video is part of this framework, allowed us to free as much as 82% of working time and manage a business with 1 hour of owner working time per day. But let's go right into the slides. And please, if you like what you see, if you like all the videos on this channel, like, subscribe, and check the full playlist. That is a collection of full tips, tools, delegation tricks from our full framework for free. Here we start with the problem that we want to solve. If you are a beginner in delegation, you don't know where to start. Probably you are stuck in your situation where you are not able to delegate, you are too busy. You are afraid to start, you are afraid to give away work because we are perfectionists with our work. We are so afraid to let it go and don't know where to start. So we want it, we are afraid. I mean, maybe we can start if we push it, but we don't know exactly the button to push it. This video is exactly that button. We are creating you a button where you just need to focus your effort, your motivation, because if you are an entrepreneur, you have that motivation and to push that button. We are putting in front of you the button that you can as easily as possible push so that you can start. Once you start, it's much easier to go. It's like downhill from there. So this is probably happened to you. If you feel this is your problem, you are overworked, you are too busy. Maybe your business is starting working, or maybe it's not even working so good, but you have a side job, a main job, or maybe you know what you should do to kickstart your business, but you don't have time. So you are overworked, but this being overworked is a horrible loop, because if you're overworked, you cannot get over the overworkedness. Sorry, the game of words. So you are too busy to start delegating. You are too busy to learn how to delegate, but you still need to start. Is inevitable. And you search infos around. Maybe you listen infos while you work, while you do things here and there. But there is too much information. Sometimes information not exactly what you need, or maybe you're not 100% sure that those are exactly for your situation. So if you're a solopreneur, self-employed person, a small business owner, listen these slides, because we show you the starting steps that everyone in your situation should do. You don't know what's right or wrong. So you need to listen to us and trust us. We are success mappers, and we are specialized in this delegation for small business owners, self-employed people, and solopreneurs. What if there is a simple first step, this button that we are talking about? And what if this button can make you delegate 5, 10, 15% as easily and quickly as possible, so that you can delegate 20, 30, 50, 60. Also that you can have more time to learn later the full framework that we have, for example, or the full framework that everyone in delegation should use. 3-step process to start. We made it as simple as possible to delegate the most with minimum effort, focusing your motivation on the one step at a time. These are the 3 steps exactly for this situation. Why we want to solve this? So maybe we can talk about more why this is so important, because Your long-term goal is to grow your business, grow your profit. And to grow your business, grow your profit, you need to focus on growth and profit, of course. And to focus on that, you need to delegate all the rest that is distracting you from that. Things like managing the day-to-day operations, doing the things that make you money right now. There are some processes that you are doing that are already working, but you cannot focus on them if you want to grow your business further, right? So you need to delegate all your company minimum effort. And if you don't solve these, you don't have time to delegate more. If you don't start with the 3 steps that we show you, for example, you don't have time to delegate more. And so that your business can be like 80% passive as it happened with our business. You cannot manage your business with 1 hour working day like we are doing with our business. So if you don't solve these, you will not be able to also learn seriously how to delegate. You will never sort this delegation problem out. And not delegating is basically procrastinating. And if you procrastinate, you lose opportunity in the market because the market is constantly going and growing. Maybe your competitors are gaining market share, or maybe you are not gaining market share as fast as you could. Losing opportunity long term could cost you thousands, maybe millions of possible profit. But you never know because you don't delegate. So you know your situation, but you don't know how much bigger you could be. Delegation is so important. If you was 10 times bigger, you probably have 10 times profit, right? Any year of delay could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. So your priority right now is to start somehow, because I can tell you that you can delegate, but practically what you can do. So your priority is to start. So start delegating in small, so that you can learn the process, you can gain confidence, motivation, so that when you learn this small thing, you can grow it, scale it to the moon. And here are the benefits. You, if you start as you're gonna, as we are gonna show you in this video, you will practice delegation easily with minimum effort, minimum risk, minimum time, money waste, and you start solving the biggest obstacle that is starting. You can free easily with these 3 steps, 5, 10, 15%. You just need to start and then implement everywhere you can what you learn in this video. And you can really free as much as 15% of your working time if you implement this thing in these videos. If you do it correctly, you put a lot of work and time and you learn this and you scale it to the moon. And the biggest benefits, I think you will have time to focus on the next steps afterward. If you don't start, you'll never be able to do the next step and then to do the next step, next step, next step. It's easy and simple. We try to make it as easy as simple as possible. I mean, we have a full delegation playlist, a full playlist with so many tools, tricks about delegation in the link below. I mean, you can search around, you will find it on our channel. It's the main playlist where we show you so many hours of training, right? But here in the shorter time, we put these 3 steps. And this video will motivate you to make a move. The concepts are simple, but we want you to implement. Rewatch this video 3, 4, 5, 10 times if necessary, but at a certain point, implement it and fight the fear. Kill the fear to start. The fear to start is the biggest fear. In business, you need to, in general, every time you do something, take action, move fast, and sometimes start and sort our details later. Not always, not always. Sometimes you need to prepare, of course. But I'm saying with this small situation of delegation, there is not so much risk, especially because you're following this video that me, Pietro Mappers, created after years of practicing with our full framework, because this is a starting part of our full delegation framework that is powerful, tested, proven, etc. So if you, I mean, start with this trust us because we have the experience you can trust, and then sort out the details later. Because I'm telling you, you try to implement, there will be there will be like problem difficulties, things that you need to learn afterward, but it's inevitable. You need to start and then sort the problem later. You can never figure out all the problems beforehand. Otherwise, you will need 100 years to start. Now, don't get stuck in the analysis paralysis. There are so many infos online, but the big difference is when you take the best information that you implement them. This video is simple, basic, ugly. As you see, my slides are quite ugly, but the goal of my slides is to make you start delegating. You can do it, start. So where to start delegating, even if you have a small company? There are many small moving parts, of course, processes, procedures, steps, activities, actions, tasks, projects that you can delegate. There are all over your business. It's quite hard to understand where to start and how to hire first and how. But here, three possible starting stages of delegation is the one that we suggested. The third is the ideal one, that is the best. But I suggest you to pass into 1 and 2 before, so that you are ready to implement the 3 correctly. So the 3 steps are delegating task by task, task clustering, and task clustering of an evergreen process. The first is the simplest and easiest and least efficient long term, but is the first one that you need to do. Learn to delegate one task. Take the task in your company that takes more time, is the most simple, repetitive, etc., and create a process map. There is a video in our playlist called Mapping in 6D, and create a video tutorial, SOP, and hire a VA on Upwork or where you want, and delegate it. Try to do it, and then come back to the videos and learn to improve the process. This will be so much valuable for you. Maybe you will get it wrong the first time, but is the best way to start. Everyone usually starts in this way. It sounds really simple and obvious, but start with one process, the biggest process, that more easy, simple, less flexible, more repetitive, the one that you see over and over to maintain your company is the ideal to start. Ideally, evergreen and task is maintaining your business long term. We talk more about this in the delegation playlist. I mean, if you want, you can watch it, but start from this task. As I mentioned, is the starting point. This is not the ending point, but it is so easy to start from this step, delegating one task by time, task by task. It is basic, simple, and effective if the processes are big, repetitive, and simple to teach. So try to select these processes. You need to have a generalist assistant that you can hire on Upwork for cheap. Upwork, Fiverr. Create a video explanation, create assets for them. If you don't know what asset is, check our video playlist, and then give them this work and make sure they get it right, they learn. If you focus on complex processes with a specialist assistant, delegating by input and output will become much more effective. So there are some tasks that are more complex. In that case, you will need to delegate to special assistants. There is some differences. We talk about this in our delegation playlist. But yeah, try to understand how much complex is the process. That's why I told you, select a very simple process. But when you delegate all the simple processes, you will need to delegate the more complex one. In that case, you will need a specialist assistant. You will need you need to hire someone with some experience more in what you are doing. And also a second, but it will also be harder for a beginner to monitor and ensure the cost, quality, and processes and that are correct if there is a special assistant involved, if you are a beginner. But Either way, go back to the basics, start from a simple, basic, effective process that is big, repetitive, and simple to teach. The second step, task clustering. Task clustering is basically taking a lot of tasks, putting them together in a package, in a cluster, and ordering them so that there is like a sequence, like one task, two tasks, three tasks, okay. And then this task, sometimes you can also put like a how much is repeated per week, per day, per month, right? Task clustering is basically taking a lot of these tasks that you created and putting them in a package with a sequence. So in that way, you create a process of task, a macro task of task clustering, and the assistant or the specialist assistant will be able to follow the steps and do everything by himself without the need of you to check and do nothing. That's the second step. The evolution of each first step, you cluster a group of similar, connected, or related tasks. So try to find similar, connected, or related tasks. Build a macro process around all the related tasks with a sequence and flow. The benefit of the cluster is the sequence and the flow. So the goal is to create a flow that doesn't require you to check. In this way, you will be delegating the sequence and the flow. In this way, one person or team can execute the task with efficient flow. This makes the process more self-sustainable. That is, in delegation is so important because we want something that is managing by itself, something automated by people, requiring less supervision. In this way, you don't need to check it that is right every time, and less management, so that you can work less. You can manage with small touches, not with supervision 100% 24/7. It can be set up with few inputs, outputs, and supervision checkpoints. Okay, no supervision all the time, just some checkpoints, some touches. And then there is the third, that is this is insanely good if you do it right. That's why we have a full framework about that. You can see in the description the full framework. You can opt in and check it for free. It's a full exclusive video training about where we teach about these evergreen processes. Evergreen processes are processes that are simple, repetitive, not much flexible, or maybe can be also flexible and not so much repetitive, but they are evergreen. So they will always be in your company for longer time, like for 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, forever. This is something amazing because once you created them, they will help you forever, right? So this is one simple way that can delegate so much time on the long term. It is a long-term investment for your company. It's like buying a home. Once you have a home, you don't have to pay rent anymore. This is the best beginning delegation because it's an effective as the second task clustering, but also a process that is evergreen. The hard thing about this is selecting the right evergreen process. Sometimes it's harder to see it. I'm sorry to say, but sometimes you need experts to help you select this. It's so powerful. You can try to select by yourself if you understand what is an evergreen process, right? Otherwise, there is the full framework video or the full free resources below in the description, the full playlist, or you can work with us, of course. But by evergreen, we mean a system of processes that will remain in our company for years, not months. In this way, you can invest more time in creating this macro process, and the time investment will be worth a lot in the long term. This is a big asset that will go on for a long time and free time for years. As I said you before, I'm repeating myself. And is relatively, I don't know if it's written it correctly, simpler and cheaper than other complex delegated specialized roles. Yeah, this is so powerful. Is because they will probably not evolve, these evergreen processes, or at least not much, or at least they will evolve after a long time. So you will need to invest less time there. And they will truly free as much working time as possible. This is how we built a company that is being managed with 1 hour working time per day, how we freed 82% of working time of the owner. The steps 2, 3 require more experience than 1, but we suggest, of course, to start from 1 and then go to 2. And then when you are able to do 1 and 2, be able to select the right process and do 3. That is basically task clustering of the best area of your company. So the only cons of the way 2 and 3 are that you must ensure the processes are optimized and the stress quality tested. This is another point. Of course, you need to create correct processes. I cannot go too much into details about this in this video. There is the full free playlist of tools and delegation tips and tricks, or you can opt in for the full training video. Because if you will need to rebuild these evergreen processes, it will require too much time. So if they are truly evergreen, you will not need to do this, and you will save so much time and money. So summary, these are the 3 steps. You can go back and rewatch this video 5, 10, 20 times if necessary. Start delegating task by task, selecting one task that is big, simple, and easy to teach. Create maybe 10 of these tasks, or maybe define a cluster is the step 2, a cluster of tasks that you need to define so that there is like a sequence, so that one person with the basic skills can do all the tasks together in sequence. And then, of course, you need to hire someone to do that. So hire a specialist or generalist based on what you want to do. And then a task clustering of evergreen process. After you have experience in clustering, task by task delegation, you need to select the optimal clustering that is evergreen. And once you do that, that clustering will work by itself and free yourself working time forever. How to implement, watch the video 1 or 2 times or 10 or 20 times, implement the steps in sequence as we shown. And if unsure, watch our full playlist for free. And try, don't be afraid to fail, because everyone is passing by these steps. If you need help, maybe you can also comment. So to know how to delegate, of course, you can use our full free resources. There is a full free YouTube playlist, as I mentioned a lot of time, in the description below, or the full framework training video, or the full framework PDF of 40 pages. This is the playlist. This, for example, is the opt-in page for the download the PDF. Basically, you need to put the email. We don't spam. We send basic emails with very good motivational and delegation content that is helping you to delegate for real. If you want, go there. So here we are. I'm so happy that you are here. You finished all the slides, all the video. I know it's long. It can be boring sometimes. Please, if you like the video, put a like, subscribe to be notified when you receive the next videos about delegation. Is very, very important for the success of your business. This can really multiply your success, but by 10 times long term. I'm not joking. And check the full playlist. It's a collection of our best tool, tips, and tricks for delegation so that you can implement right away what you learn and you don't waste time anymore watching and consuming content with no real final end goal, right? So, yeah, please take action and check the playlist. Or if you're really confident about the success you can achieve, check the full training video. That is an exclusive training video that is not on YouTube that we created where we show the full framework A to Z. Up there is so much valuable and it's free.